You like it.
Today we finally put the 340i in a dyno and see how much power it makes. We recently did some street runs and documented the car's performance. 0 to 60 was in 2.6 seconds, quarter mile was in 10 seconds flat, and 60 to 130 was 6.1 seconds. By the way, this is on direct injection only, no port, with a stock motor and stock transmission. A ton of you guys gave your best guesses on power, and now it's time to find out if you were right. All right guys, we're heading over to Real Street Performance. Gonna go ahead and use their dyno. I think it's time to get the 340i on the dyno and see exactly how much power it makes. All I tell you guys is very fast. It makes 30 PSI, E50, but never really gave you guys some concrete numbers. So today we're finally gonna find out. Part of the reason was it's because it's an X-Drive car, and there's not a ton of X-Drive dynos available where we're at. And the dynos we normally go to are either occupied or that X-Drive, I guess, setup doesn't work. But I'm just curious to see, with just the high pressure fuel pump from Dorsch, the DS3, and their new injectors, DI only, how much power can we make?
So we were looking at the charts here on Dorsch's website. So this is for the DS3, right, Gen 1. And on E50, we're going with the assumption that this is with the DE70 injectors as well. Obviously we don't have the cam upgrade, but E50 flow capacity is 725 to the wheels.
Yeah, so that is pretty nuts. If I can get into the 700 horsepower range today on DI only,
that'd be nuts.
That'd be amazing. Before, if you even wanted to come close to that, you have to do PI. Now with the technology, and thanks to Dorsch and offering fueling parts for these cars, it's amazing. So yeah, I guess we'll chat when we get there. All right, we have made it to Real Street. That sign might actually look very familiar because every time we go to the OSW drag strip, I guess they're like a big partner with them or a sponsor of some sort, because their Real Street logo is literally on the track. Is it here?
I see that everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about Real Street. It's just they're kind of far from me. And I've never really taken a drive to check it out, but I've heard really nice things. I heard they have indoor dyno, temperature controlled, very nice for filming, which is good for you guys, good for me as well. Apparently the lighting is good, so I guess we'll talk to them and see what's up. The dyno facility at Real Street was pretty sweet. It was unlike any other dyno I've ever used. It was enclosed and was set up to have some crazy good airflow, as you guys will see later on. Got a pretty sweet setup over here, don't they? Indoor enclosed, got a nice screen here. You got the DynoJet dyno. You like it. Yeah, so our thought process here normally with our cars when we dyno them, we like to, have the hood open so we can have the setup to breathe here, let all the heat escape. The issue is I don't have any hood struts here. We got a hood prop, and we want to make sure that it doesn't. All right, I guess never mind. I didn't get to finish my sentence, and the situation's already fixed. Got a hood prop tool with zip ties. That's not gonna go anywhere. Just want to make sure, because this setup gets really hot, especially the intake temps. We want to make sure as much heat escapes from the engine bay as possible.
What do you think it's gonna make, bro? What's your estimate?
Right, 30 PSI got to be at least 700 horsepower. If not, like 690, I would say, if I had to pick a range, I would say from 690 to 700. That's my guess. What about you?
I gave a guess when
I don't know why I'm holding a screwdriver, but anyways.
I don't know, don't worry about it. I said 713 wheel horsepower. Based on the Dorsch numbers, without a cam, and high hopes, I'm saying 713.
I don't know if I mentioned it on this video yet, but we are at the limit for the fuel system. DI only, 30 PSI, without the high lift cam. We're right at the limit. I know because I've experienced fuel cut as of recently, doing like anti-lag and stuff like that. So like we're right there. The hotter IATs have actually benefited us in the last month or so. But now that the temperature is starting to cool down, the DA is starting to come down, now the bottleneck is the high pressure fuel pump. The injectors they have plenty of room to make more power. It's just the high pressure fuel pump is having a hard time keeping up with the 6870 at 30 PSI. So we'll see. Hopefully we don't get any fuel cut today. Hopefully we make 700 horsepower. Because if we do make 700 wheel horsepower on an all-wheel drive 340i, that's fast as hell. I mean, though, and reliable.
Yeah, only.
Yeah, only and reliable too. Like it's much simpler. At least based on what David told me, my tuner. It's just much simpler when you have a DI system and you don't have to do any balancing it. You don't have to introduce 6 more injectors or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm excited for DI only. I know a lot of people are not. I am. I like the new technology. I like the simplicity, and I want to be one of the first ones out there showing how capable this setup is.
Yeah, so we just, I was curious about how you strap down an all-wheel drive car. So you were saying you need 4 ties in the front, 2 going crossing each other, I don't know, 2 going out to the sides, 2 going straight. It goes to the lower control arm.
It's a lot more labor.
Usually you go to the wheel, like you guys have seen in our other dyno videos.
Yeah.
Obviously you can't do that on an X-Drive car, so learned something new today.
Also, I could have just used XHP to make it a rear-wheel drive setup, and I can go to any dyno.
I didn't even think about that.
You
bro.
could. I just don't want to do it that way. I want to see all-wheel drive horsepower numbers.
Yeah.
Which, especially because like the drivetrain loss is completely different on that. Just I want it to be as accurate as possible.
Well, we shall see.
I was super excited to finally see how much power my 340i can put down. The car feels like an absolute animal on the road, and to be honest, if I wasn't chasing 8s at the drag strip, I would probably keep everything the way it is now. I think it's perfect and doesn't kill the daily drivability of the car. For those interested, I will have all the 340i upgrades linked down in the video's description. We sell all the mods on our website, vehiclevirals.com. If you have any questions, feel free to email us.
Locking us in.
Alright, so what's gonna happen here is we can't leave until we make 700 horsepower.
Locked in, officially.
Do you think I'm kidding?
It was beyond cold in there. My ITs were super happy. I did not expect this dyno setup to be this cool. Get it? Never mind. I feel like I'm in a North Pole right now, bro.
I think it's just, I don't know how that works.
Hello. It was time for our first run. I wanted to dyno the car in 6th gear because that's technically 1-1, but 2 things were a concern. The speed would be kind of sketchy on the dyno, and the transmission could slip. The stock transmission in 6th gear at this much power is normally the stay away zone. So we decided to do the first run in 5th gear. Literally, on the first run, something went wrong at the top of the RPM range. My first thought was traction issue, since, you know, the tires and rollers were cold. The operator told us based on his experience that it felt like the converter slipped. Literally our first run and we already hit the limit. The dyno graph showed us clearly where the potential slip might have happened. Looking at the log for that run, you can see a dip on the RPM around when it happened. There's no throttle closure or timing corrections, so yeah, I think transmission slip. Well, I didn't want to leave just yet, so we ran the car on 4th gear this time. Bro. I gotta show these guys the dyno graph, huh? This guy's
hey, Instagram better be YouTube real quick.
I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. Nearly 750 wheel horsepower and over 700 torque. A lot of your guesses were right. I don't even know what to say, but I was way off on my guesstimation for the power.
Hey, I was close on the first one, right? 716 for 50.
749 with 702 pound-feet of torque.
Bro.
Bro, I think we're done here, bro. I think we're done here. I'm at a loss for words because normally I can just kind of plan ahead and start thinking, if it's gonna be this, this is what I'm gonna say. I don't have a plan for this.
Bro.
Well, look at it. And the thing with the horsepower is that it keeps climbing and never falls flat. So it peaks out around 6,800, 6,900, it peaks there. Torque seems to peak at around 5,000 RPM and it starts tanking from there. Bro, this is nice.
Holy.
And this is 4th gear. Not 5th gear, not 6th gear. Those are like the cheat code gears.
I can't believe it. That's wild, bro. What was your guess? 6 something?
690 to 710 or something around there?
Yeah, I said 713. Blew me out of the water, bro.
All right, so that last dyno pull was a bit of a fluke just because we had just started the car. We had to reset the, I don't know, there was like a dynamic traction control issue. I guess the car freaked out on the dyno. So we turned it off, turned it on just to clear it, and I guess we ran it way too soon, so the valves are closed, and they forcefully reopened. Regardless, 752 horsepower to the wheel, and 687 torque. Here's a graph, guys. This is so crazy. DI only, B58. Obviously, we can't really be at the top of 5th gear. That's an issue. Got transmission slip. The 4th gear on the dyno was perfectly fine. I ain't kinda still at a loss of words. Stock motor, stock transmission, makes that much power. Just stay out of the top of 5th gear and 6th gear and you'll be all right. Very cool setup in here, man. It's a lot of wind coming in this way. They have the high power fans here, so it kept the IATs down to about 100, which is a sweet spot for this setup right here. Everything was nice and cool. Man, I am happy.
DI only, stock transmission, stock motor. That's pretty much all she got on this current setup, and I'm happy. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. There's more to come as we further level up the build. Also make sure to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.